The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray. Feeling good, Lewis. We're going to have Alfie Lavoie on at the half hour. He's the owner of Air Software. That's the software package that Shane and I use. It's a very sophisticated Astro package, but he's got a newer one for the common man that he wants to show us today. Very, very inexpensive. It's under $500, so I think you'll be interested in taking a look at it. Let's get to the markets. First of all, we're going to start out with what we usually do is the German DAX. As you see, the DAX yesterday, when it gapped down, it stopped, right at two major numbers, the 1.618 and 1.27 numbers. That's very similar. Well, it's exactly similar to what we did in the S&P and the Dow and the New York Stock Exchange index. But the one thing I wanted to start out the day with was we talked yesterday about the strength of the WIN stock and the fact that the market was down 400 Dow points and WIN closed up 3 points on the day, and you just don't want to stand in front of a stock that's strong. And as you can see what happened the next day, it opened a little lower and then went right through the 61% retracement and rallied a very quick 6 points, 6%. So, this market looks like it's getting ready to move up into the higher level. But if it doesn't get any higher than where we were yesterday, then we have some problems because we have some lower highs in here. But the key thing to remember is, folks, when you have these really, really bad days and the stock that you're looking at is just the opposite, in other words, very strong, or on the opposite, if the market is, up really strong and your stock is very, very weak, that's telling you that the people that are in the know are in there willing to sell against it or buy against it. So let the people, or let the chart pattern determine what you're looking at, because they can hide from you, they can give you misinformation, they can lie to you, but they really can't hide from you, because if there's buying, there's more, the prices are going up, and if they're selling, prices are going down, and that's the whole key to technical analysis. So keep that in mind as something that is very, very important to look at. Now let's take a look at what some of these other markets were doing yesterday. We'll start out, and if you're a believer in the Fibonacci numbers, I think you'll enjoy this, because I'm sure it's a coincidence that what happened here. But if we look here at the very one we watch the most, which is the New York Stock Exchange Index, you'll see we went down and made a 1.27 expansion of the low in August. That was exactly the exact number. Then we rallied yesterday to stop exactly to the tick of the 61% retracement of the high that we made just a few days ago before we had the big sell-off on Friday. Now, that was certainly a coincidence. I can certainly understand that. But let's just take a look at another coincidence, and that is the Dow Jones Industrials E-mini, because it's opened, in the middle of the night. You'll notice I didn't put the 1.618 expansion here because I just wanted to show you that it also made a perfect 61% retracement of the high that we made back on February. Whoa. Let's try this again. The high that it made back in September the 8th. So we are having some very, very good volatility. And so far what's happened now overnight is we've had a 382 retracement. We've gone a little bit below that. But we want to look at the next one, of course, which is the Stop and P, or the S&P 500. That's what we used to call it back on the floor, back in the days when we first started trading, because there was nobody in the pit, so they called it the Stop and P pit. Okay, let's take a look here at the. That's the truth. You'll notice here we exactly to the 61% retracement at 2155.5. Now we're trading below the 2135 level, which is the 382 level. So this was just a very, very strong move. Now you'll notice that it made a much stronger move to the downside. It took out the 1.618 and went down to 1.83. That leads me to a little subject matter that I wanted to show you. As you notice on these charts here, you're seeing numbers like 136, 131, 73, 94, 125. 68, 74, these 258, these are numbers that are done through the Ensign program, and it does it to the 100th decimal point. And you really can't trade to the 100th decimal point. If you get out to the 10th, you're usually doing pretty good. But these numbers are spot on accurate. And what we're doing is we're looking at numbers that are very, very close to these. And for trading purposes, it really doesn't make any difference whether it's 131 or 127 or 0.68 or 0.618. For trading purposes, that's just a few ticks here and there, and it doesn't, make any difference. Now, the difference between, of course, the 127 and the 1.618 can sometimes be a really big number, and those are the ones that you have to be really afraid of. So just remember that these numbers they're guidelines to where we think the market's going, and that's our opinion based on pattern recognition swing trading. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but if you stick to it, mostly the promised land they'll lead you to the promised land, without too much trouble to take a look at some of these numbers. Now let's just look at yesterday in the silver market and gold. The silver and gold were basically the same yesterday. As you can see here in the silver market, we went down and we did hit the 78% level. We hit it spot on. Then we made that little ABCD pattern, as you can see here, and the rally back was exactly 382 overnight. It didn't get any higher than that. I'll put the updated chart. And the reason why I'm telling you this is this market is still in a pretty substantial downtrend. And if this was really a good bottom, one would have thought that it would have powered through the 382 retracement without any trouble. Now gold hit that 1325 level. That was I think the low was 1323.90, and then it rallied $12. Silver rallied, of course, a little bit more. It rallied about 60 cents an ounce, which is $3,000, whereas the gold only rallied about $1,200. So that's a big difference. And now we're seeing the silver back off again. There should be really strong support at around 1890 in the silver. If we go below 1890 in the silver, I would think that we're getting ready to to head a lot lower. We had hit a lot of numbers yesterday, as you can see on some of these charts that we're looking at. So there must have been something really big occurring. Now we do have Norm Winsky alerted us this morning that we have a eclipse coming here. We have a lunar eclipse coming on the 16th. And I believe we have some other, just one second here, I want to post it into the room so that you can take a look at it. And if you do need this, all you have to do is to let Norm know, and he will certainly be able to, give you a help here to what's going on here, with some of these things that we're looking at. So that's the main thing that we want to keep an eye on. To look at that. So anyway, well, now I can't find it. Oh, shucks. 877-927-6648.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry, powered by the acclaimed TAS TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen, live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den, absolutely free, for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Larry takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a look at the December corn here over these past few weeks. You'll notice that we've had a ABCD move that matched the move that we had back into August the 19th. The CD leg was 1.27 of the AB leg. You'll also see that 1.618 expansion that was there. Now we're in the midst of a correction. We've already corrected more than we did between the 2nd and 6th of September. So the first really good support here will come in around the 326 level, which will be the 61% retracement of this move down in corn. It will also be very near the level of swing B, which many times it'll go back and touch those old highs. So we'll be watching that the next few days just to see what's going on. As you recall, we were looking at this cattle market, and I don't have a chart for it this morning, but it really exploded to the upside after coming off that 99 level. We got up to 106 and change yesterday, and I think we've closed higher 3 days in a row now. So, if you're a cattle trader, keep an eye on that, because that could be a major bottom down in this area. We had Rich Anderson on last week, and he was talking about that area as a potential support once we went below $100 a pound in cattle for just a day or so, and then reversed. So that should be a pretty good spot to watch what's going on. Getting back to, some of these things that we were looking at yesterday. Well, first of all, we want to take a quick look, because the opening yesterday, we were on the air when this happened, is that we opened right at the 61% retracement in the VIX to the exact tick. That came in at 20 and change. Of course, that was the high of the day. Then we had a very sharp pullback where it went from 20 all the way down to 15, which the VIX, that's not unusual for that, because it jumps around quite a bit. But the interesting thing is, let me just put this, I'll show you the opening price. Well, this is not the one I want to show you, so just give me 1 second here. Oh dear, dearie. Let me see if I have the right one. Anyway, the one that I want to show you is I don't have it. It's got it here somewhere, but I'll have to get it near the break. But the pullback that it made yesterday, after we made the high, was exactly 61% to the exact tick. That was what happened with the VIX. It came right in and closed at 15.15. That was a 61% retracement of the move from September the 6th up into the 12th, and then the pullback yesterday. So we should hold that level. And that's what we're seeing now in the futures, because we pulled back to 21.35. Remember, 21.35 is 50 handles from where we were just a few days ago. So this market has a more of a bearish tone. Even though we had a 61% retracement yesterday, it still has a bearish, very bearish tone to it, because you've done some damage, from my opinion, of looking at some of these things. Now, they don't go straight down. They do go straight up, but they don't go straight down. So the fact that we're looking at these is what's really important to keep an eye on. Why they're jumping around as much as they do. We've had a question about the dollar index. You'll notice here that we are in a very, very tight trading range here in the dollar index. We believe if this is really bearish, folks, we had these 5 ratios up there at the 97 level. We're trading around 95 and change right now. And anything below 94 would signal we're going down big time. And anything above the 98 level means we're going to probably go up big time. That would really break a lot of cycles if we have a really strong dollar. That would take us up to, an area that would really be quite a bit higher. One of the questions that someone had yesterday, we get this chart from our good friend Norm Winsky. This is the relationship that Norm was looking at in the relationship between oil and gold. We had this question asked yesterday, and we ran out of time before we could answer it. But if you'll take a look at this, and you'll look at the black line, the black chart line is the crude oil market, and you'll see the GLD, and it should be in gold, and it is. You'll notice that it has a pretty good correlation at times, but if you'll notice, as gold was bottoming back in December, crude oil was coming down, very, very strong. And when gold turned, crude oil started up. And if you notice the top they were totally different tops. They were more than a month apart. So sometimes you'll see really good correlation, and other times you'll not see very much. What you want to watch for is when you have a really aberration between the two, where one's going up and the other's going down, or that they are fitting perfectly. Anything else, I wouldn't even pay any attention to, because that could just be an outlier event, because the correlation is strong, but it's not anywhere near 85%. It's closer to 65%, and so you want to be very, very careful in doing that. John Murphy, in his book, when he looks at intermarket relationships, he points a lot of these things out, that sometimes they'll follow along where they track very, very closely, and then all of a sudden they have an aberration. We've seen this in copper. It used to be Dr. Copper used to run the market, but that doesn't happen anymore. We've seen this in some of the currencies, where we have the euro, runs with gold for quite a while, and then of course it doesn't. The Canadian dollar, versus the oil market, that's basically of what's looking at and seeing what's looking. We're having some questions about one of the ex-CIA guys is always on the internet, Jim Rickards, and he's talking about September 30th as something there where could destroy the U.S. dollar. Folks, those people sell their information by using fear. That's the only way you can get someone to click on those things, and that's what happens. And I'm sure he's a really bright guy, and he's probably right. I've been watching this for over 2 years. I haven't seen anything, to tell me. I can tell you this: if you're looking at the U.S. dollar and we get below 9,400, you ought to pay attention to it. But right now it's just been doing the same thing. There's nothing. Remember, FEAR is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. That's from Tony Robbins, and that means that 85 to 90% of all the fears you have never come to light. So remember that. You just face your fear, move on, and go to the next one. As Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, We have nothing to fear but fear itself. And we probably should use some of that when we watch some of the things that happen across the Middle East and some of these hot spots that we see, that they scare the bejeebies out of everybody. But you can't rule your life by that. You've got to move on. One of my favorite quotes is an old Scottish proverb, and it says something like this: "A coward dies 1,000 times, the brave man dies but once." So keep that in mind. Even when you're trading, you've got to take your risk, put your stop in, and move on. That's all you can do. Nothing else you can do. We'll see. Okay. We'll have Arch. We had Arch on yesterday. Alfie Lavoie will be our guest of Air Software at the break here, and he'll have some really interesting charts. Arch is the dean of the astrologies, folks. When people have questions, they go to the Archie man. And Arch is a very, very good friend of Bill Meridian. They built this program together many, many years ago, and they're very, very, very close friends. And certainly he is the dean of this. And he's also going to give us a little peek into November the 8th. So this will be fun to listen to him talk, and he'll have some interesting charts for us to look at. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters. In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Well, Okay, we're back, folks, and we've got my good friend and professional astrologer from Connecticut, Alfie Lavoie, on the line from Air Software. Alfie, how are you this morning?
Very good, Larry.
Listen, I'm going to turn this program over to you. We got about 20 minutes or so to go through this. At the end, we're going to let the folks know how to reach you, but you want to show them a program that you've developed for the common man. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, we're ready for chart one. It's about the, looks like it's the composite moon position, so go ahead.
No. What we do here is that, I did a lot of research in the market since 1975, and of course we wrote 5 different programs. And you know about our titanium, it's in 42 different countries used by professional traders all over the world. And so I took some of the best part and put it into this program to make it really simple, to see what's going on. Now, the first graph here is that I took some stock that I screened out, and usually I buy $5, $10 stock, all right? I buy usually 1,000 shares and hope to make $1,000, $600 in a couple of days. And so as you can see, I take the first rate chart, which is the chart that when these stocks first start to trade, and put them into this program. And you see CX right here. It was down around the beginning of August. All right. So if you look at it, here, it shows the 5th, but like astrology, the 5th is the strongest point. But then it could start 2 days before and 2 days after, and then it goes up and it stays up. You see the mean line there, the line across. That's the mean of the aspect. That means 0 degrees of any aspect. That would be the line that would give me. Anything above that means the stock has strength to go up. Anything below that, the stock has strength to go down. So
that's very simple.
Here, yeah, it's pretty simple. And you can look at all of them. Usually I screen about like 50 of them, and then I go up and I say, I take a stock that goes down like this one goes right up. Then I bought this stock. Now, before I buy it, I do one thing. And remember, years ago, you turned me on to neural net. And when I first remember neural net mathematics, you're the one that says, I'll use that in your program. So, I bought a book on this. Oh, my God, Larry's going to be nuts, because even though I majored in math, it was quite complex. But I got it going in astrology. So what we do is that with neural net, we take the data of the stock, day up and down, and then we go to the first day of that we have data for, and it says, okay, the market went down, so everything that was going on in the sky, we give that a negative point, and if it goes up, we give that a positive, and we keep going back and forth on these prices till we have curve fitting, then we project it ahead. So when I find a couple of stocks, okay, I'm going to buy these 2 stocks this week, all right? Then what I do is that I send it to a neural net, and that neural net is really accurate. And that's what the second graph is. If you look at graph 2 over here, you will see that was a neural net of this same stock right here. But this was done with the price, all right? So as you can see, around the beginning of August, it was down. Then it went right up around the 13, 14, 15. This is my study that it does. So it looks good. It says, all right, my God, I'm going to get into it. So I bought it right there, well, no low. That was on the 2nd of August, all right? And I sold it around the 15th of August on that Monday. And with that stock there, I made $1,700 in a week, less than a week, just about a week, all right? So this is how I trade. I go up and I take the stock, and I screen them up, and then there's a trick of looking at the first graph, for instance, because if the stock shows going down, and then it goes up for one day and then go down and go up, you don't want to get into that. You want to get into a stock where the astrology says it's down, all right, and then it goes up for 3, 4, 5 days, because astrology works. We know that, but sometimes it's slow. An aspect can come into your chart, and you start feeling, I don't feel so good, or things start going wrong in that department, either in work or in a relationship or something, and it builds up to a point. And when it builds up to a point, then poof, it explodes, and then it dies down. Mm-hmm. Well, astrology works the same way with the market. This is why that in doing what I call that rating. So I rate all the stock, and then find out which one has bad aspect that can cause it to go down, and then good aspect that can cause it to go up. And so,
how many stocks do you screen each day, Arch? Alfie, I'm sorry. I had Arch on yesterday. I've got. I'm sorry, Alfie.
Arch a good boy. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
But what I do is I do. As you know, I deal with clients from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock every day. So I do all my study on the market on Sunday night. Sunday night, I usually watch baseball or football or whatever it's on, and I got my notebook on my lap. And I screen about, I go on the net, usually Yahoo, but a couple other places that I screen them better. And I screen stock from $5 to $10. That sells over a million shares every day for the last 65 days, a beta of 1, and sometimes an RSI of 40 to 60. And that's usually stock that has power, all right? And then what happened is that I send him through the rating. And if you look at the rating, go back to graph 1 right now, all right?
Sure.
You can see that, the rating is there, but notice that on the far right, there's strength there in green, all right? So it means that first stock on that list, there's a lot of green there. That means that stock has a lot of strength to go up in 1 month. I screen him for a month. And that tells me in that month how strong it is, all right? And then if you go down to the red, like when you go into and you start seeing WPX, then it starts getting weak. You don't want to get into these stocks. It gets weak because it means that it doesn't have strength to go up that month. And I do that. What I do with this software also, I took all the 30 Dow stock and I screen them up and then sum them up, and then I can see where the Dow is going. It's pretty accurate. All right, I can see the Dow is going to be strong here and weak here within a month. So this is why I made this strength on the right. And if you go to the graph 3, for instance.
Hold on. Alfie, we're going to have to take a break here in about 15 seconds. So what we'll do is we'll come back to graph 3 after the break, and then also I want to have you tell the folks how this is really can work for the common man, because you're only offering you're only asking like $495 for all of this
material.
That's right.
Well, that's right. Really compared to our other software, which is $3,500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really a terrific deal, especially for someone that does mutual funds and things, I guess, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, we'll take a break here. We'll be right back with Alfie Lavoie of Air Software.
If you're looking to discover a new financial resource and diversify your financial portfolio, consider the new Market Safe Focus Commodity CD from Everbank. This 5-year U.S. dollar-denominated CD gives you exposure to 6 equally weighted commodities, including gold, silver, copper, nickel, soybeans, and sugar, in one powerful CD. With annual pricing caps of 50% per component, you could earn up to a 50% upside payment at maturity if the commodities increase in value across annual pricing dates. And should the opposite occur, your principal is 100% protected. Keep in mind, returns are based on CD performance. There is no annual percentage yield or periodic rate of interest on this index CD. Don't miss out. Take advantage of this financial resource designed to grow with the times. The October 13th funding deadline will be here before you know it. So hurry over to everbank.com/TFNN for the CD's term sheet and other important product details and disclosures. Once again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. This advertisement is sponsored content. Everbank is a member FDIC.
It's 2016 and TFNN has a brand new programming lineup to kick things off. Starting January 4th, swim lessons by Thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade will be airing 5 days a week at noon Eastern Time. Join hosts Scott Connor, Kevin Hinks, and Cindy Faber as they host their daily options program live at noon 5 days a week with no commercials for the entire hour. Nico DeHaan and Paige Clark will be moving their program, Living a Primal Lifestyle, to twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Wake up with Nico and Paige and start your day off right. The Bull Bear Binary Option Hour by Nadex will now be live Mondays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Start and end the week with the three hosts, Tom O'Brien, Tommy O'Brien, and Daryl Martin, as they break down the world of trading binary options and spreads. For all the details on the new 2016 programming lineup, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors. Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Directions Daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Okay, we're back, and we have Alfie Lavoie of Air Software. Alfie, we're looking at chart number 3.
Okay, chart number 3, as you can see, I screened the data, right? And then you can see that it goes down from about the 7, then it hits a bottom around like the 11th and the 13th, and then it goes up. But you see how it goes up? It goes up around the 17, then it goes down back a little bit. See, I wouldn't get into that stock because, as you can see, if you look up on top, it's red on the right. So that means that, you know, that stock has no strength during the month, and you can see it doesn't have any strength. And the fact that it goes way down, but it goes up a little bit and then down and a little bit. I like it when it stays above the line green for about 3, 4, 5 days, you know. That way there, I know that it's got 5 days of going up and you know, get some money out of it. And most of the stock that I trade, I make anywhere from $400 to like sometimes $2,000 on one trade. All right, and usually I do that within a couple of days to a week, roughly, depending on what it is. So it works extremely good. All right, and it's a system that I researched for, 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Arch, how long? Golly, Alfie, I don't know why I keep calling you Arch, and I've got your name written here so I won't forget. Don't tell Carol I did that, okay? Hey, anyway, listen. Okay. How long? The question we have from the den is, how long have you been doing astrology, Alfie?
I've been a full-time astrologer since September 12 of 1965. And believe it or not, I've done astrology all over the world. Clients I'm booked up months in advance. Yeah,
I know that. This was your anniversary then, was yesterday.
That's right. Yesterday was my anniversary. But wow. The market, I met a few people like Bill Meridian, and a few people say, why don't you put the software to run this? So I started working with software. And like I said, astrology software, we have 23 of them. That's my part-time job. I run software from 9 to midnight, every night. That's to break away from dealing with people all day long.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so, now, and I've been doing a lot of research in this, a lot of research.
I know you do, and the program that you built, the titanium one, just does everything that you could possibly ask for, astrological from a trading standpoint, for sure. Now, did you want to move on to chart number 4? That looks like it's...
chart number 4 is my favorite one. You know,
this is your favorite one.
Well, everybody has an IRA, right? Because I manage Carol's IRA, my wife and myself. And, how do you watch your stock in the IRA? It's impossible, This way here, you can put the stock in it, run it through the software, and it tells you when the stock has the thing to go up or go down. I tell you, it was funny because I was looking at my mutual fund that I bought back in 2005 and look at it about like a year ago. I made 1% on the money. In all that time, I'm saying, forget it. So I started trading dividend stock. And the dividend stock that I trade is 10% to 22%. Like CLM right there, the third one from the top, that's 22%. I've been dealing with that for about 3 years. And the only way you can deal with that is with a program like this. Because as you can see, if you look at July 1st, the beginning of July, that's a third from the top, right? It's green, 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 and it goes all the way up, and about the beginning of November, it starts getting red. The stronger the color, the more that it's going to go up. The stronger the red means the more it's going to go down. So I know that with CLM, I'm going to be out of it. It pays on the last day of the month, so I'm going to be out October. I've got it since July. It pays 22%, and I know that stock will probably go up $1. It's a $16 stock. It'll probably be 17, 18. So I have 1,000 shares. I'll make $2,000 there, and I'll make my dividend. So this is fantastic. I love this. I have a group here that we meet, all old retired people that I put together, my friend, and we trade with this, and they love it, all right? And we trade dividend stock, and we trade stock with it. But this is the thing that I always wanted to put together, because you can see all the investment that you have into your IRA and say, look, this thing is going to go up, this stock. Now you start going down here. I'm going to get out of it and rebuy something else. So it's a real, real nice thing. Like, for instance, this one right here, DRA. I bought that in February. It's up and up, All right, it hit a little down here, but, you notice again that at the end of September, I'm going to be out of it. Now, that stock right now is up $3,000 for what I paid for, all right? And I'm collecting, I think it pays 10%, 10.7%. I'm collecting about $130 a month from it. So, I mean, it's really good to watch it, get in and out, all right? Because otherwise, years ago, I used to buy dividend stock, and then I didn't watch it. The first thing I know, all right. So I collected dividend for about like $2,000, but now my stock is $3,000 down on the value, so what good is that? So this thing here, you can watch dividend stock. You can even watch your own stock. You can put anything in it, dividend, mutual fund, a stock, anything, and just run it for the year and say, okay, here's what I got, and this is how I'm going to trade with it.
How hard is the program to run for the common guy that's, not a really, heavily into computers and stuff? Is it pretty easy to run?
It's so easy. I made it easy because, it's like a lot of astrologers, good astrologers, are not very good with computers. We know that, because 90% of the astrologers are women. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that women are not that good with things, because my web designer is a woman, Debbie, and she's fantastic. But, you have to make it easy. Here, you don't even know you're using astrology, because all you do is click the button and say, okay, I'm going to run it for this long and that long and that. Here's the answer. You print it out, put it on your desk, and watch it. It's so simple to use, it ain't funny. I made it simple.
Mm-hmm. Now you're only charging $495. What do the folks get for the $495?
They get a whole program to trade right from the beginning to the end. So they go up, they make one trade, they pay for the program. See, I made that also for a lot of astrologers that's struggling, to make a living as an astrologer. And I feel with this, they can, make a little money on the side. And like I said, astrology's been good for me. I've been making a living coming out from a nuclear scientist to an astrologist is a big difference.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And, but I made a good living as an astrologer. I want to give back.
Well,
I know
you've been giving
been
back.
good for me. Yeah.
You've been giving back for years, Alfie. That's for sure.
Right.
You've been giving back for years. That's why you're so loved by everybody. One other question that I had is, Rob Hand still around?
Yeah, he's still around. He's still going, and of course, he's still a god of astrology. He's done a lot of work, and so people respect his work, and that's very good.
Was he affiliated with Harvard or Yale for a while? I think there was some...
he was affiliated. He got his doctor's degree from a Catholic university in Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I know you and he were the two, the demagogues of well, I don't know if that's the right word, but you were the two leaders of the astrology when I got into the business 30-some years ago, and that's when I first met you, and you've certainly shared a lot. We got to take a break here. When we come back, we want to ask you a couple more questions and also how they can reach you, okay? So stay with us.
Okay, yep.
My name is Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability and host of the Trader's Edge Show, heard daily here at TFNN.com. On Wednesday, September 14th at 5 p.m., I'll be hosting a special one-hour event, The Ultimate Reversal Patterns. I'll teach subscribers how to identify and trade market tops and bottoms. You'll learn Tom DeMark's TD Setup, TD Sequential, and TD Combo. Plus, I'll show you how to identify Gartley buy and sell patterns, which means you'll learn how to master the D point of any A to B equals CD pattern. More importantly, I'll teach you the most powerful pattern of all, by price relative strength divergent pattern. These patterns work for stocks, for ETFs, future contracts, currencies, and these patterns work on every time frame. By signing up for Mastering Probability right now, you get the first month of my newsletter service for only $49, and that includes Wednesday's Ultimate Reversal Patterns webinar. This $49 offer is only good through September 14th, so act now. At only $49 for your first month, I guarantee this is an investment that you won't regret. For all the details of the upcoming workshop and to reserve your seat today, visit the front page of TFNN.com now.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, we're back, folks, with Alfie Lavoie of Air Software. Alfie, I have one quick question for you from the folks in the den, and then we'll get to how the folks can reach you and everything. But what is your view of November 8th? What do you think will happen?
Well, that's always a hard question because, with the chart, we get a bird time from here. There's about 5-6 different bird time for each one of them. So I sort of pinned one down that I think is working. I think if Hillary can go through all this stuff, I think she's going to win. It's going to be a tight election, but I think Hillary is going to win.
Okay, that's fair enough. Now, how can the folks reach you if they would like to have more information about this? What do you call the Astro program, Alfie?
I call it Alfie Trading System.
Alfie Trading System. Okay, and how would they reach you if they wanted to?
They could go into www.alfie.com. ALPHEE. That's my website. Or they can call me on this number, which is 1-860-232-6521.
Okay, that sounds really good.
And one thing, Larry, I have a YouTube video, and if you go on YouTube and you type Alfie Lavoie, ALPHEELAVOIE, and you'll see I put about like a 45 minutes video how to trade with this software. How do I trade every system that I use? So it's quite interesting how to use the software.
Well, you've done a great job of putting it together. There's no question about that. I just can't believe that you're selling it for $495. I would thought that it'd have a 1 or a 2 in front of it because it's got so much information that is very, very helpful to everybody, for sure.
Yeah, well, I want to give back to astrology, and astrologers, they can't, really spend a lot of money, but I think $495, they'll be able to do that.
Sure. Now, do you ever think someday we're going to have a segment on CNBC or Bloomberg about astrology? Because I know Dr. Andrew Lowe from MIT is doing a lot of work in astrology. Oh, we got to end it up here, buddy. Thanks for joining us, Arch.
All right.
Bet, buddy. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.